Hey, I'm JaeMazer, and I am reading today for Spider Road Press's Friday Fiction series that they're doing for our time in quarantine. So we do something other than, cutting our own bangs and drinking quarantinis, which neither is good for your health. So I will be reading an excerpt from my newest novel, Consumption, for you. So here we go. It felt so good to throw that plate. The crash it made as it smashed against the wall, sending a shower of blue and bone china sprinkling to the floor. The fork and knife went next, careening off the fridge as I hurled them across the room. I released a wail that would put banshees to shame as I threw everything and anything I could get my hands on. Exhausted from my outburst, I sat down to catch my breath, putting a hand on my throbbing side. I closed my eyes. I was so cold. Too cold. The world slowed until it was completely still. Page turn. When I opened my eyes, the kitchen had changed. Everything was different. Wrong, somehow. I was still on the floor, my hand grasping my side, but the air was different. A thin layer of frost coated every surface, and my breath came out in white, billowing clouds that lingered before dissipating. All the lights were off, leaving the moonlight my only source of illumination, but even in that weak glow I could make out a figure standing in the mouth of the hallway, swaying ever so slightly from foot to foot. Brock? No answer. Not Brock. My legs were aching as if I'd been balled in the same position for hours. I crawled up, getting on my haunches, then struggled to stand. Swift Runner. Is it Swift Runner? I backed away from the figure who cocked its head at me as my palms met the edge of the sink. And there we were, at a standstill, me pinned against my counter and it wavering in the hallway, eyes glowing white. I gawked, examining the form in the darkness, noting size, shapes. Curves? Charlotte. I breathed her name without meaning to, and the word floated to her on a frozen plume of breath. When it reached her, she breathed it in a great gulp. Hair billowing behind as if she floated through the water, she came to me, arms swinging gracefully and feet moving silently across the tile floor. Her skin was a silver sheen of frost, her raven black hair and lashes stiff with glittering fractals of ice. Her eyes were still glowing white in the darkness. With every movement, frozen bits of her body crackled off, tinkling to the floor like glass. Charlotte brought her hand up and cupped my face, sending a jolt of cold through my bones. I leaned into her. I trembled as her black lips parted, releasing the soft thumping of drums from within her belly. With each thump, her long black hair shimmered, cascading over her and shaking loose a snowfall of frost onto my feet. I wanted to ask her what she wanted. I wanted to demand that she go away, to take her horrid husband and children and move on and leave me alone. But that's not what came out when I opened my mouth. Help me, I asked. So that's part of my book Consumption. It is edited for language and a little tiny bit of content in that section, just due to a wider readership than I usually have. But check it out. It is on Amazon. It is the story of the Wendigo, and it kind of integrated with the story of a true life serial killer from Alberta, Canada. Also, check out all the other Spider Road Press authors who will be doing these readings on Friday. It's a really cool thing, and you might find a new favorite author or just find a better way to spend your time. Like I said, bang cutting quarantinis, that gets old really quick. So big shout out to Spider Road Press for having me, and hope to see you guys on the other side.